What's next? It's Action TV.
The fully equipped new Trincomalee Fish Market was a project which was launched through the Post-Tsunami Coastal Development and Management Programme with aid from the International Fund for Agricultural Development. Due to this, the Trincomalee Urban Council is deprived of tax money obtained from traders who sold fish at a wholesale fish market for the past 60 years. Although the new fish market was constructed at a cost of 94 million rupees and subsequently opened 4 days prior to the previous Eastern Provincial Council election, stalls were not given to vendors, citing that the Independence Day parade would travel opposite the new fish market. After the Independence Day parade, statements were made that stalls at the fish market would be distributed in line with the Dayati Kirula exhibition. However, this did not occur, as pointed out by Action TV 2 days prior to the conclusion of this year's Dayati Kirula exhibition. 7 months and 21 days after the new fish market was declared open by President Mahinda Rajapaksa, trading activities finally began on the 1st of May. However, many of the vendors who owned shops at the wholesale fish market were not given stalls. The main reason behind this is the Ceylon Fisheries Corporation requesting for a deposit of 120,000 rupees for a single stall in the new fish market. The wholesale market had functioned under the purview of the Trincomalee Urban Council without any deposit being charged from the vendors. Today, the Ceylon Fisheries Corporation is managing the market without any regard for lifestyles of the fishing community. This is the meeting room of the Trincomalee District Wholesale Fish Vendors Association. We have only 2 holidays, the Poya Day and Sundays. The complex is closed on Poya, while we are not even allowed to hold our meetings on Sundays. What is the use of this? The President granted this complex for the betterment of the fishermen. However, if we are not allowed to use it, then what is the point of it? In addition to being forced to hold their meeting outside the designated meeting room, fishermen and vendors charged that the Ceylon Fisheries Corporation has evaded its duty of reserving the state-of-the-art cold room for their catch. It is not being used. It will eventually rust and we will never be able to use it. As vendors, we need to question as to why we continue to ply our trade here. Moving the fish market to this location deprived the Trincomalee Urban Council of a large amount of tax money. However, not allowing the vendors who pay a monthly rent for their stalls in addition to the deposit they made to utilize the facility to its full potential is similar to the public not being allowed to experience the dividends of development. Secretary to the Ministry of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, this is over to you.
In more local news, Venerable Dr. Ittapane Dhammalankaratero has been appointed as the acting Mahanayaka of the Sri Kalyani Samagri Mahasangha Council.
This appointment took place at a meeting held at the Kotte Rajamahawihara.
Venerable Professor Kotapitiya Rahulathero of the University of Peradeniya has been appointed to the post of General Secretary of the Sangha Council, which was previously held by Venerable Dr. Ittapane Dhammalankaratero. Venerable Professor Kotapitiya Rahulathero expressed his views to News First regarding the appointment. Rajakiya Pandita Agamaha Pandita Venerable Bellana Sri Jnanavimana Thera is the Mahanayaka of the Sri Kalyani Samasri Dharma Sangha Council. However, he is currently ill. Therefore, he convened a meeting and told us to appoint an acting Mahanayaka. We held a meeting at the Kotte Rajamahawihara today, presided by Venerable Ittapane Dhammalankaratero and Venerable Bellanvila Wimalaratana Thera. Venerable Professor Bellanvila Wimalaratana Thera proposed, and everyone unanimously agreed, that Venerable Ittapane Dhammalankaratero, who served as General Secretary of the Council, be appointed as the acting Mahanayaka.
The single largest political party in the country, the United National Party, secured a major election victory at the parliamentary elections of 1977 under the leadership of J.R. Jayawardena. The UNP, led by J.R. Jayawardena, secured 140 of the 154 seats that it contested for in the parliamentary elections in 1977, while the Tamil United Liberation Front secured 18 seats, making them the main opposition party. The Sri Lanka Freedom Party only secured 8 seats at this election. While J.R. Jayawardena was the party chairman, giving leadership to this historic victory, Dham Vimalasena functioned as the UNP General Secretary at the time. Vimalasena expressed these views on the steps that were taken by J.R. Jayawardena to ensure the UNP's victory at the polls. In 77, our leader thought that if we were to secure a major victory at the election, then a campaign steering committee should be appointed. This committee was elected through a vote. He did not appoint any of his loyalists. He did not appoint friends. He appointed those at the electoral level. He convened all the organizers one day for a meeting in Colombo. He asked us, myself and Thalagune, to convene them. That morning he asked us to prepare papers, pencils and pens for the meeting. He did not tell us anything else. When the meeting commenced, J.R. Jayawardena said there was an election around the corner. The party has been organized and there are 11,000 branches. He established organizations at the district level. He said that he needed a suitable committee to steer the election campaign. He did not appoint anyone to this committee. He said that he would appoint those who were recommended to him by us. He issued instructions saying he wanted 10 people in the committee. He said that he wanted a 10-member committee and said that they would be elected by our vote.
ඡන්ද ව්‍යාපාරය මෙහෙවන්න මට සුදුසු කමිටුවක් ඕනේ. ඒ ඡන්දෙදී
The first in that vote was R. Premadasa. We always knew that he would come first.
අපි හැමදාම හිතුවා එයා පළවෙනියා වෙයි කියලා.
Here's a report filed by News First U reporter M.A. Mujreed from Negombo.
Garbage has been dumped on the road in the Sellakanda area, Periyamulla in Negombo. Area residents and commuters are severely inconvenienced as a result.
News First U reporter වෙනුවෙන් මීගමු සිට එමිරේට් ෂාජහාන්.
Well, former South African President Nelson Mandela's health is slowly recovering, but he remains in critical condition, according to the government of South Africa. Now, this is incidentally the first update in 2 weeks about the former president's health condition.
The 95-year-old anti-apartheid leader has been in Pretoria Hospital for 2 months for treatment of a recurring lung cancer.
Now, Mandela's youngest daughter told state broadcaster that her father's health was improving daily and he was able to sit up for minutes at a time.
Mandela became South Africa's first democratically elected president in all race elections in 1994 that marked the end of the apartheid system. Now on sports news, Christine Sonali Merrill from Sri Lanka crashed out of the World Athletics Championship today. She was disqualified for breaching meet rules in the women's 400-meter hurdles heats.
While Christina Sonali Merrill crashed out, the world's fastest man, Usain Bolt, once again showcased his talents during the IAAF World Championships as he clocked the season's fastest time.
The 14th World Champions is held this year in Moscow, Russia. Usain Bolt regained his World 100 meters crown and restored some credibility to a sport tarnished by a plethora of doping scandals as he scorched to gold in 9.77 seconds. Fast-starting American Justin Gatlin took silver in 9.85 seconds, with Jamaican Nesta Carter securing bronze in 9.95 seconds. Ethiopia's Trunesh Dibaba bided her time before letting loose on the final lap with an awesome display of speed to complete a hat-trick of World Championship 10,000 meters titles. Olympic champion Dibaba, who is now unbeaten in her 11 outings over the distance, won in 30 minutes 43.35 seconds. Kenya's Gladys Chenora was second on Sunday in 30 minutes 45.17 seconds.
Well, rain interrupted day 4 of the 4th Ashes test between England and Australia, which is being played at the Riverside ground in Chesterfield Street. Now, in the England innings, Ian Bell hammered yet another century and guided England.
Ian Bell and Tim Bresnan commenced England's second innings on day 4 today on an overnight second innings score of 234 runs for the loss of 5 wickets. Bell could only add another 8 runs to his score of 105 before he was bowled by Ryan Harris, who also went on to pick up the wicket of Matt Pryor for a duck. Stuart Broad was the next to head back to the dressing room for 13 runs. Bresnan too fell victim to the bowling of Ryan Harris with 5 runs short of a half century as England were dismissed for 330 runs.
Off spinner to So he holds the ball aloft.
Let's see to if he can.
Well, a short while ago, Australia were 125 for the loss of 1 wicket. Well, Norway's Prime Minister Jens Stoltenberg gave the citizens of Oslo a shock recently when he decided to take to the streets as a taxi driver in order to inquire about the public opinion on him.
Now, most politicians would call for an opinion poll, but Stoltenberg decides to have a more hands-on-the-wheel approach. Let's take a look.
Folk egentlig mener. Var det ett sted folk virkelig sier hva de mener om det meste, så er det i taxien.
Nei, det er midlertidig, fordi vi har så mange nå, men til neste år så går det vel ned noe. Men kjære all verden. Ser du at du kjører bil, eller?
The Prime Minister's pre-election stunt drew praise from his passengers, and most were able to quickly recognize him.
Hæ? Hæ er det? Hva?
Så du begynte å kjøre taxi? Ja.
Ja.
Sånn på si? Ja.
Så nå var jeg jo kjempeheldig, for jeg hadde tenkt jeg skulle skrive brev til deg.
Takk skal du ha.
Nei, denne kjøringen har jeg vært misfornøyd med.
Og så er det 8 år siden jeg har kjørt bil. Men jeg synes det har gått veldig bra. Altså.
Ja, det...
Sluttet som grande pappa til Norge.
Sluttet som grande pappa til Norge?
Grande pappa, si.
Ja, premierminister.
Ja.
Ja, jeg ikke sluttet som premierminister.
Da kommer jeg til å stemme Arbeiderpartiet, jeg vet ikke.
Ja, det er veldig bra.
And that's wrap of News First Primetime News for tonight. For the News First team, I'm Ramesh Rugal Bandara.
I'm Samadhi Gunasekara. Good night.
News First at 9.
Hotline 0114-896-896. www.newsfirst.lk. Feedback at newsfirst.lk.